Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back. Wrestling Paradox Podcast. This thing is recording on me, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure I saw the box around his name. Uh, Wrestling Paradox Podcast. Tonight, we have a very special guest inside the Paradox. None other than Bruce Leroy coming straight out of CCW. What's up, Bruce?
Yo, what's good?
What's up, man? Yo, I am very excited to have you on this podcast. I'm going to give you a quick reason why. Bruce Leroy is one of the few people in CCW who caught my eye very quickly. I saw him once a couple years ago, or once a couple months ago, and then I saw him recently in Nashville. The kid took over the match in Nashville. You can find it online. It was a hell of a match in a 6-man tag. But we're not going to start there. We're going to work our way to there. First things first, we got to get out of the way. This show is brought to you by M&J Ecological. If you are living in South Florida and you have any pest needs, such as removal of iguanas, lizards, snakes, any type of reptile, tortoises, turtles, whatever you got to get rid of, make sure you guys call my boys over at M&J Ecological. My buddy Marcus is standing by the phones ready to help you out.
Oh, and I'm
So,
on the show too tonight.
oh, and Chris is here too, guys. Hi, Chris. Sorry, I was getting there. I was getting there. Captain, skipper.
The
I don't
brains
have
of
the
the
cap.
show, the brains and the looks of the show are here. So
Today I don't have my captain's hat. Today I have army hat because we're going into a war. It's a civil war. Fucking crazy right now, man. Anyway, so all right, like, I mean, we got to get right into it, I guess, right, Chris? Like,
yeah,
Bruce Leroy.
Yes,
Who
sir.
is Bruce Leroy?
Bruce Leroy is up and coming professional wrestler out of Pompano Beach, Florida. You already know. Um, Whatever. I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get big, man. I'm tired of my life.
Yo, I hear you. Hey, that's a good reason to get big. But Bruce, when I ask that question, what I want to know is, who are you? You grew up in Pompano Beach, but like, obviously you went
Yeah.
to school and you fell in love with wrestling at some point. At what
Mhm.
age did you discover wrestling, and what company was it, and who was that wrestler that attached to you, and you said, "Damn, that's who I want to be when I grow up."
I really discovered wrestling either 1997, probably like 99, one of those years, because my cousin Sean, my older cousin Sean, used to come over to our apartment when I was younger, and we used to watch WWF Raw on TNN. I think it was TNN at the time, and
nice.
we used to play WW. Yeah, we used to play WWF No Mercy a lot and
Yeah.
Attitude. So I got hooked on it. I got hooked on it really really fast.
That's what's
You know.
up. You know, you're not the first person to tell me that. Nasir also thanked his cousin
Wow.
for introducing him to wrestling. So I think we got to thank some cousins around here.
Yes, sir.
Definitely. At what age did you really start getting physical with it and saying, hey, look, this is what I want to get serious with. This is what I want to do.
When I was 13, actually, I was in eighth grade. I was like 13 going on 14, and me and a friend, a close friend, Nelson, we were wrestling fans, but me, I knew I wanted to be a professional wrestler. So my idea of being a professional wrestler was like, okay, I'm gonna go do amateur wrestling to
Perfect.
to
Yeah, obviously, because you could just like
get involved.
DDT kids over there.
Yeah, because I really thought, okay, you train amateur, then you do the pro like on TV. And so
Yeah.
I was in middle school at the time. I was in Forest Glen Middle School in Coral Springs, and me and Nelson would walk or we'll get a ride by his dad to Coral Springs High School and train with the high schoolers in amateur wrestling.
Oh, hell yeah. That's pretty
So
cool.
I
So
really
you
started
really
like,
took the jump on it.
yeah, I was really everything I do, I always put effort into, or I always try my hardest.
There
So
you go. Hell yeah. I see it with your skateboarding, man. You're a hell of a skateboarder. I've watched some of your videos and things like that because I really wanted to get to know Bruce Leroy myself before this interview. And I was like, yo, who is this kid? And I watched some of your videos on skateboarding and I watched a couple of your matches from before. And dude, I've said it to you in person, right to your face. I think you have a lot of talent. I think you have to stay out of your own way. Make sure you don't get in trouble anywhere. Make sure you keep your head on the right path. And personally, I think Access TV might see you one day. I told you Impact is probably the best landing spot for you, just because of, you're a smaller guy, and you would get lost in the shuffle with WWE. The first thing you told me when I met you in person, you told me, "Yeah, I
Yeah,
want to get the WWE one day," and I was like, it's too big, almost. You'd fit with Eric Young and Rich Swann and people like that.
yeah. I like those wrestlers too. I grew up watching Eric. Showtime, EY, yes sir.
Team Canada and Scotty D'Amore, like, yeah.
Chris, do you have a question for Chris?
Yeah, when you were younger and when you got into, like, you said you got into it like 97, 99, around that era, what wrestler caught your eye and you were like, I want to mimic my career after that wrestler? And why is it Rey Mysterio?
No, because Rey Mysterio was in WCW at that time, so I didn't watch too much WCW. I didn't know anything about WCW, but definitely the Hardys, man, definitely. Those are like probably my all-time favorite wrestlers, all time.
Gotcha.
For some reason, I was always a Matt Hardy guy, though.
What?
You don't see that. You don't see that often.
The one with the weird hips.
It was Matt Hardy. It wasn't like
weird hips.
It wasn't like because Jeff is more popular, so I'm a like guy. But I don't know. I felt like when it came to just basically wrestling in general, I felt Matt had it more. Jeff was more the stunt double, and I always liked just straight wrestling for some reason, even though I'm somewhat of a daredevil myself.
Yeah, it's what do you think about how Matt is now?
I love it. It really scared me when he got speared off the
because it wasn't a work, it was a real thing.
It was a work.
I know it wasn't.
Yeah, he cracked his.
They did the same thing in TNA. Man. Did the same thing in TNA.
You even worked the wrestlers.
Yeah, man. But I really like the direction of him going to AEW. I really felt like he could have did a lot more in WWE. I mean, he did a lot, but I mean, I felt like, come on, they gave him the ECW championship. By the time they gave that to him, it wasn't even, I guess, looked at as a world championship, and I really felt that like that was fucked up. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't know if you guys remember that, but when the ECW championship first came back, it was a big deal.
Yep. It was supposed to be Paul Heyman's baby, like the reboot, and it just went to complete shit, and it did not pan out very well at all. They actually dropped the ball on a wrestler. Oh, what was his name? Had the yellow teeth, kicked the baby, Snitsky.
Yeah.
They dropped the ball on Snitsky so hard because they were like, yo, we want you to go back to ECW. We want you to shave your head. We're going to dye your teeth up a little yellow, make you look disgusting. And then 2 weeks later, he gets drafted back to Raw. And he's like, yo, what the fuck? Like, what happened?
Well, if you remember after that.
It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But after the ECW reboot, the first night, isn't that when Paul Heyman's like, he backed up. He's like, I don't want to do this anymore. And then they got to the Dismember pay-per-view. And that's when he got fired. Him, Sabu, they all got fired.
Yeah, they were like, yeah, we don't need you guys anymore. Thanks for starting this up again.
Sabu got him. I think didn't he get pulled over? Him and Rob Van Dam got pulled over or something like that with weed in the car.
Yeah,
I was gonna say I'm sure there was weed in the car.
Yeah.
Chris or Bruce Leroy, I should call you during the show because I already have one Chris, my skipper. Bruce Leroy. Obviously, first of all, I do want to thank you for taking this interview real quick on the fly. Obviously, you're in the car, you're on the road somewhere, you're going to the next show, and you're getting your name out there, and that's what's up, bro. And like, I love that about you. You have a drive, you have a passion for this. But like after CCW, like realistically, like in a year, where do we see you? What's like, where am I still going to see you in CCW in a year, 2 years? Like, what's your next step? Are you trying to get the MLW next? Like, what's up for you?
Anywhere anybody would hire me, to be real with you. I just, I'm not one of those guys who's like, oh, I want to be this. Of course, everybody wants to make it to WWE and Impact and stuff like that. But I feel like anywhere anybody will hire me to work, I'll just be happy with because it's better than working at a grocery store warehouse job. It's better than
Yeah.
working an overnight job like I'm doing. Like I have 2 jobs currently right now. I work at a warehouse job in the afternoons and the mornings, and I work overnight at a gym. And I, my biggest goal is just to make it. Period. Whether it be MLW, WWE, anywhere, I'll be
Yeah.
happy.
Well, you got the AEW shirt on, and we
So
have
that'll
a
be my
direct
goal.
we have a direct connect with Cody Rhodes. Obviously, I don't know if you've seen the show, but Cody loves us, but doesn't love us, and that's why I made this shirt of him with his face crossed out, next to MJF. So
Oh wow.
He loves us, but he doesn't. He likes to use our ideas for merchandise and for storylines. Chris is an actual booker for AEW. It's a quiet booker. They don't want everybody to know that he's the booker.
I'm the silent booker.
Yeah, he's a silent booker.
When Brian Cage first came out and was
Shadow Booker.
Yeah, when Brian Cage was first announced during the Casino Battle Royale, they I literally that next week we did a show and I said, "Oh, Taz should manage him and give him the FTW belt and have him just run amok on all of AEW, just run through people to show how dominant it is."
And guess what happened 2 weeks later or a week later? Taz comes out with Brian Cage and gives an FTW belt. We're like, oh, this works great. And he's just running amok on everyone.
I'm like, okay, well, that's fine.
So we'll do our best to have a sit down with Cody over some coffee one morning. We'll put your name out there, definitely, kid. I got you.
We're the adopted stepkids.
man,
So let's just say that.
Dashing Cody Rhodes.
Dude, dashing Cody Rhodes. Chris, I told you you're gonna like this kid.
That is one of my favorite wrestling characters of all time. Like I love the dashing Cody Rhodes again, man.
He told me that last night. He's told me on the phone. Yes. Dude, he told me on the phone last night. He's like, yo, dashing Cody Rhodes. I'm like, wait till Chris hears that.
He's cutting in and out. He's cutting in and out.
Man.
Oh, there he is. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, it was going out. I don't know what happened.
There we go.
Yeah, even Cody's rookie career, like when he was on Raw and he was World Tag Team Champion with Hardcore Holly. I really liked his mat-based skills. You know what I'm saying? Cody was always great to me. So,
dashing Cody Rhodes when he was like when he did the whole like he's good looking, and then when he got he had the broken nose and the eye or the orbital and he had the mask and he was like so like demented. Dude, so good, man. Like so.
He gave people plastic paper bags.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was a good bad guy move, man.
Yeah, that's like the $1 Million Man shoving $100 bills in people's mouths, like back in the 90s. That's it. I loved it, man. Loved it. Such a big fan. But okay, now we skipped over one question that we forgot to ask. When did you actually start training? We know that you were training to be an amateur wrestler at 13.
Right.
When did you start pro wrestling training?
I was 25 going on 26. This was last year.
Okay.
And what happened was I took a couple months off to take care of some personal business. Like I was working at Publix and I was not making enough to even afford wrestling school. So I had to take some time off, and then things really started getting serious for me with the wrestling around, I think, March. I said, here, $500. Put that down right there. Boom. That's my deposit. Gave it up. I've been there ever since. Every single week ever since.
Hell yeah, dude. You definitely have something about you that shows that. You take everything that you have learn from that school and you put it into every match, which is really cool to see.
Who at CCW would you say that you gravitate towards, like as a role model, besides Pablo and everything like that, but like as a teacher, so that you can learn from and grow more? Dan, I think his last name is Evans.
Mm-hmm. I believe his last name. Man, he's such a great teacher, man, for a guy. He's an older guy, but he's a really good teacher, man. He's very patient. I feel a lot comfortable with him as a teacher. Not to say anybody else who's taught me has made me feel uncomfortable, but it's like it's really not like a lot of pressure when he's training us. Um, I felt like I really got a lot of my holds on lock. You get it on lock, but like, I might come
Yeah.
out mixtape. You know what I mean? But
But who as a wrestler, Bruce Leroy, who as a wrestler did you, when you got in there, you said, yo, this guy is somebody I want to stay next to, I want to learn from. Everything he does, I kind of want to imitate or mimic, or that side of it.
at first, Alex Ocean, he was really training. He was really one-on-one training with me a lot at the beginning. Um, then the Chili Boys, we call them the Chili Boys. Taylor Wolf came,
Mhm.
and Alex Hero came. We really started linking up with them. They was teaching us a lot of luchador stuff. Um, but currently, uh, damn.
But, now you mentioned Alex
Yeah.
Ocean. Have you seen any of his death matches?
Yeah, like I come across them every now and then.
Now,
All right,
Unimpressed,
it's not
unimpressed completely.
nah. I mean, I think everybody just has their own thing. Like me, my thing is just high flying and technical type stuff.
Mhm.
That's his thing. Being a deathmatch guy. Some people like bigger guys. Like I don't know. That's just his thing. Like it's not really my type of thing, but I'm not
what's
against it.
crazy? What's crazy is my wife. I've watched wrestling. I'm 34 now. I've watched wrestling for like 30 years of my life, and my wife will try to watch wrestling with me, and she'll be like, "Nah, this is lame, whatever." I'm watching. After we did our first interview with Alex Ocean, I'm watching Deathmatch Wrestling. She comes over and she's glued to it. She wants to watch it every time it's on. It's like this
I
thing,
wish,
I
I
mean, hey,
wish.
hey, that's her thing. Maybe that's her thing, low key. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
But it's not.
But then I showed her like a video of like Alex wrestling in CCW where it's not really the same thing, and everything like that. And she's like, "Wait, that's him?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Yeah, it's but hats off to him because he can go from one weekend shoving skewers and syringes in his face, and then the next weekend he can just do a drop toe hold, arm bar, arm drag, double foot stomp from the top rope, which is like insane.
Yeah.
Versatile, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great person, I guess, to learn from. If you
Yeah,
do
I
want
learned
to
a
put skewers in
lot.
your head.
Nah, not me, but nah, I did learn a lot from him though. I did. At the beginning. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Who have you ever thought you said you learned a lot of luchador stuff? Have you ever thought maybe Mexico was something that you ever wanted to dive into? Maybe go
Yeah,
down there and learn from them?
yeah, yeah, definitely.
So that's
Especially,
something in your future. You're gonna go spend a couple years in Mexico, learn some wrestling.
yeah,
Because look, that's what Jericho did. Jericho, I know, was in Japan. I know he was in Mexico a lot. So like that's something that definitely a person
definitely.
who's not a true Mexican or luchador or something like that, they can go down there and learn that and hone that craft still down there.
Mhm.
Yeah. I was watching a little bit of Lucha Underground a little recently. I haven't watched anything really outside of WWE or anything American, to be honest, lately. But yeah, like I do aspire to probably be like someone like Chris Jericho or maybe Chris Benoit or maybe Eddie Guerrero, like guys who literally travel around the world honing their craft in Canada and Mexico and Japan. Like I'd like to be that guy.
Well,
Yeah.
being a technical wrestler, maybe someone like Lance Storm is somebody who's not a big statue of a person that maybe you can learn something
Mm-hmm.
off of. Hey, he has a school in
You said
Connecticut. Go
Storm?
check it. Yeah, Lance Storm, bro. Lance Storm was
Storm?
amazing. A great
Yeah,
technical wrestler.
yeah.
Great technical. Nothing about that guy was bad in the ring except his mic skills. Well, even then, even those were really well. I mean, I thought he was great half the
Let me
time.
be serious for a
Serious for a
moment.
moment.
Wrestler, probably a couple wrestlers that I aspire to be. My all-time favorite wrestlers are Brian Kendrick and Paul London. Those are
Hmm.
my all-time
That's pretty cool.
probably favorite wrestlers. Maybe
Yeah.
not so much when it came to being on the mic, but just when skills in general. Paul London and Brian Kendrick are some of my favorite wrestlers actually.
Well, I mean,
longest reigning tag team champions in WWE.
Yeah, they held it for about 10 months.
Yeah, I mean, and Paul London is historically known for not being able to keep a smile or a straight face. You know, save his job.
Not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's so messed up, man. But come on, let's be real. They wasn't going nowhere with him though. They wasn't going to. Come on, man. Their last title run with the World Tag Team title.
You there? He's there.
He's got to be there.
If he's not there, I'm
there. He is. There he is.
For me?
Yeah.
You
froze up. You froze up a little bit. Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going.
It must be bad service out there in Omaha, Nebraska.
But no, Brian Kendrick Spanky was a really good wrestler, and he's actually a very good coach too. He's taught a lot of the actual divas that are in wrestling now.
Yeah, I've seen on YouTube and shit.
Yeah.
You know, I like meeting him, man. That's one of my all-time favorite wrestlers, man. I watch as many Brian Kendrick matches as I can.
Yeah, I mean, I love him.
Yeah, he's amazing. I enjoyed Brian. You know what the bad part is? I don't think I enjoyed Brian Kendrick enough when he was in WWE and mainstream like that. I don't think I appreciated him enough.
I don't think nobody does.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks.
If you really want to get technical with Brian Kendrick, he's actually a really good character too, because if you go look at his TNA stuff, like.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't he like Sir Brian Kendrick or like the glamorous Brian Kendrick, where he came and he had like this white button-down shirt? It was like a totally off character what he normally does.
Yeah.
It was very weird, but he played it to a T and was like perfect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he was really great in TNA as well. I was just watching his TNA matches last night. Mm-hmm. He had a good run in TNA with the X Division title.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, man.
You know, it's funny, Chris. I saw a Snapchat like a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, of this kid, Bruce Leroy. They were watching wrestling videos, just old wrestling videos, and Bruce is like half-ass knocked out on the couch, like he's been sitting there for hours just watching wrestling. This kid's got something. Yeah, there was
Where's
a Snapchat.
Video?
It was on Snapchat. Somebody sent it to me. I forget who it was. I think it was Benny Blanco. I think it was Blanco, and you're like just asleep on the couch.
I didn't see this video.
Yeah, you were just
you were sleeping.
You were asleep, dude.
You were
out cold. Yeah, bro. It was so funny, but there was a small subtle message in it, and it was the fact that you sat there and you just look exhausted, bro, and you were watching wrestling, and you guys were watching it all night, and it was really cool to see. Like, you fell asleep, but you were so overworked, I'm sure, from just like training all day and watching matches and learning things and things like that. So to see somebody putting in that much time and effort into a craft is really cool. You see like bands who go out there and just rock the fucking show, knowing that they hone that and they studied every move to make sure they put on the best show possible. Yo, in Nashville, Chris wasn't there. I was there live in the crowd. Let me tell you something. When you guys had your comeback, because the Assassins, so it was Bruce Leroy, Noah King is his name.
Yeah, my
Noah
guy.
King and Nasir. Yeah, Noah's a cool ass dude, bro. I talked to him for about 20 minutes after the show. But you, Nasir, and Noah King versus Benny Blanco and the Assassins.
Those dirty assassins.
I recently found out who they were, but I'm not going to break kayfabe. Because I was upset when I found out who they were. But because I really like both of them.
I was like, wait a minute. Don't pull the wool over my eyes.
Yeah, right. But you guys had your comeback in that match, and let me tell you something. You took over that match completely. Nasir went over the top rope, and then you off the top. Like, you guys were so in sync. And usually when you watch independent, you can see the difference between independent. It's a little more off. It's not as smooth as a WWE or an AEW, things like that. You guys got into emotion to where when Nasir jumped over, then you came off the top. It was beautiful. It looked great. Like you guys had studied that so well, and everybody was in the perfect spot, and everything flowed so well and meshed so well together. I have to give you you were awesome, man. You guys were great. Yes.
Bro, it's like I didn't even see him go over. All I heard was like a big thud on the ground.
Hit that fucking ground hard as fuck. I
Bro,
was on the other side of the arena and I was like, oh shit. Like I had to jump up.
Yo, you should have saw the fans. Like everybody, like some people was starting to get up. Like oh, and then all I remember was I was like oh, and then I hit like a fucking big ass drop kick and shit.
Well, that's just like this past weekend. We were there for the taping, and it was okay. Well, I'm not gonna say who the three-way was, but there was three-way, and two people were on the outside, and there was a dive, and Joe and I were sitting kind of like front row, and the thud that it made, and I looked at Joe, and I'm like, are their knees okay?
Because they hit hard.
They hit hard. And then afterwards, we asked said wrestler, "Hey, you're all right?" He goes, "Oh, I hit hard." I'm like, "Yeah." I'm pretty sure your kneecap shattered.
Dude, it was bad. And that said wrestler is not a small person.
No, it's not a small person. No.
But yeah, man, I don't know, man. You're somebody that I've wanted inside the Paradox since the moment I saw you. And I'm pretty glad that you're here with us today. So thank you for that. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys follow us at Wrestling Paradox Podcast on YouTube and on Twitter at Podcast Paradox. Make sure you guys follow us right there. Make sure you guys follow Benny. Benny, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
No, don't ever disgrace this man for calling him Benny Blanco. He gets wins. He gets wins.
Yes, you get wins. Benny Blanco doesn't like us right now because I point out his losses too much.
Oh man, hey, I want to see Benny Blanco versus Santana 3.
Yo, Santana will fuck him up. But no, make sure you guys follow Bruce Leroy on Twitter. Make sure you guys follow his YouTube pages and make sure
let him plug his shit. Let him plug his shit.
I was just gonna plug our sponsor one more time, and I was gonna let him take over. Chris, we are contractually obligated to plug our.
You can't spell words. Don't use words you can't spell.
Make sure you guys follow. I can't spell that, but I can spell M&J Ecological. Okay. Make sure you guys hit up M&J Ecological for all your pest control needs: lizards, iguanas, snakes, babies, ex-girlfriends, wives, mother-in-laws, whatever you have that's bothering you at the house. Make sure you guys contact M&J Ecological and they can remove all your iguanas and everything else that's in South Florida. Now, back to you, Bruce Leroy. Where can our people find you at? Where can they look up on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, wherever you got the plug it.
All right, you can look me up on Instagram. That's Chris Farrow 954, which is my real name. ChrisFarrow 954, because Broward County, you already know. And then my Twitter is _ Chris Farrow 954. I had made a new Twitter. You know, the old ones, you know, is what it is. It's old. So I want to start a clean slate. And then my YouTube, Chris Farrow 954. Big things coming out real soon. And I got a Facebook fan page. It's Chris Farrow. Yeah.
Guess where I'm going right now, sir.
I got a little fan page. You know what I mean? It's making some noise.
Nice.
Okay. That's
what's
up, man.
You gotta plug yourself.
You do, bro. You do. We started nowhere. Our first main night, our third show we ever did was, I believe, was it our third show, Chris? The ride along? Were we 3 weeks in at that point?
Yeah, it was somewhere around there. Yeah, it was Summer Glory.
Summer Glory. We started this podcast. I started this podcast a while back with some other people, and it didn't work out. And I hit up Chris, who's been a friend of mine since
20 plus years.
Yeah, like we lost connection and we got back together, and we had to start somewhere. And Summer Glory CCW is where we started. We handed out some stickers. Wow. We talked to some people. We had fresh shirts on. We got recognized by people. in CCW. We became friends with Cha Cha and Will Austin and
Got
Bugs.
into an argument with Alex Ocean in the ring.
Got into an argument with Alex Ocean. He does not like me one bit, which is completely cool because I love Alex Ocean. He's amazing.
Yeah, he's the one that called Alex Ocean the great value CM Punk.
Yep. That's my feather.
Sometimes you gotta love people you hate. You know
That's
what I
my
mean?
feather. No, I don't hate
is
him.
better
I
than
don't
being hate.
hate him.
I know, but I'm just saying, he hates you, but you love him.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we got females like that too.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
right. My wife.
He hates you, but you love her.
My wife, yes. But no, and then we met some people, which was really cool, man. And ever since then, CCW's opened up their arms to us, and that is what we needed. We had an interview with Alex Ocean, and that's what clicked. And then the Will Austin interview just took off out of nowhere. It's up to like 2,000 or 3,000 views now. So it's like that's something that's really like cool to us.
We caught on to Alex Ocean right before he hit really big in the deathmatch scene. So it was like right after July 4th weekend, and we just sat him down. We're like, all right, let's get an interview real quick. Then all of a sudden he flew to New Jersey and he wrestled Alex Colon, who's like one of the biggest deathmatch wrestlers in the history of deathmatch wrestling. Wow. Wrestling that weekend, and literally our numbers just went just skyrocketing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like we just hit it at the right time. But it's like you said, it's advertising. And
it's advertising. Plugging yourself in anywhere you go. Anywhere I go, I have at least 10 stickers in my pocket, and I'm popping them to kids with wrestling shirts. I see an AEW shirt. I'm like, yo, we do reviews and interviews. Check us out. So it's plugging yourself, man. And that's what this interview is for. So I have to ask you, and this is something that we ask everybody. If you could have in your mind, and if you could have a 5-star match with any wrestler in the world right now, who is it and why is it Darby Allin?
What? Darby?
Dude, I see you and I see a black Darby. I'm sorry.
Darby Allin's real cool. Darby Allin's cool. He likes my skate videos. We've talked a couple times. He's like, yo, your videos are cool, or something like that. Like,
wait, really?
DM, I'm like,
you're not shooting on me right now. This is real. You're not working
I'm
me.
For real. Like, nah. I just sent him, some of my skate videos. He's like, yo, that's really cool or whatever. We talked a little bit.
So that's what's up. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, he's real cool. Honestly, I would love to wrestle him. I would love to. Similar, I guess, size as well. But that's a really hard question. It could be anybody. Like anybody.
Any company, anybody.
CCW to AEW, from CCW.
They have to be a current. They have to be current, or they could be like anybody.
I haven't gotten that question yet. Chris, does it have to be current?
No, anybody.
Damn, that's such a hard question, but I might.
It better be good.
I was gonna say something like wild, but not. I was gonna say something wild. 06 AJ Styles.
AJ Styles. Okay.
No, 2006 AJ Styles.
Oh, 2006. That's a very different AJ Styles.
Very specific AJ Styles.
Give me TNA AJ Styles with the 6 corners. Give me the octagon.
He wants the ring too.
Yeah.
All right, man. I like that answer. That's a good answer. We got multiple answers.
I can see you having. I mean, just from what Joe's told me and like the descriptions of your matches, because I've only saw you in the Battle Royal, and that's just basically forearm kick, tossed over the top. You're done. I could see you. I wouldn't mind seeing you having with an old school Tajiri when he first got into ECW, or Little Guido.
Oh.
Or Tony Mamaluke. Like just any one of those or luchadors that were in ECW at the time.
Or I will matter of fact probably either London or Kendrick as well. Yeah. I'm a huge fan of those guys. Huge fans.
Dude, I have done nothing but hype you up to Chris. Like, you don't understand, bro. Like, honestly, like, I shit on people. That's my job. I shit on wrestlers. I shit on companies. I have fun with it. I don't care. I'm a troll. But when I saw you, I told Chris, I'm like, yo, we got to talk to this kid. I don't know who he is. I don't know where he came from, but the kid's good. He's got something. And I was so hoping to see you at the tapings this week, but it didn't happen, and that's okay. But
Yeah,
you
sick.
know, we're gonna see you hopefully in Fort Pierce.
That's my birthday.
Okay, so hopefully we see you in Fort Pierce, get a big W on your birthday and things like that. And Chris can see you in person because it was such a treat to watch you wrestle and to watch you go up against them. And the thing was, is you got the hot tag. You got the hot tag. You didn't come in like middle match or nothing like that. You got the hot tag for the win, which was really cool to see you like jump right into it
Oh,
and
that's
jump right into
interesting.
your.
That's cool.
Yeah, he got the hot tag and he got the win. So that was really cool. And I see CCW's putting a lot into you. And I think that's something that you really need to take grasp of and grasp that brass ring and, you know, run with it. Run with it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
man, I
mean,
got
that's
plans.
that's good. No, that's exactly what Well, we saw a lot this past weekend. We saw a lot of people that could could grab that brass ring, and one that I watched a little bit of it before, but then I sat down and I talked with him a little bit. Then I watched his match this past weekend. Is Jackal. I really like
Yeah,
Jackal's work.
he's dope.
Yes.
Yeah, he's like, man, oh my god, like when he comes out too with a crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, yeah, he's taught me a lot of things as well. I like working with him.
It's just the way that he
Jackal,
just
man, he's really
moves,
cool.
the way he moves around. It's just like fluid around the ring, and it's just smooth. There's no missed spots, and if there is a missed spot, you don't know.
Hmm.
And he's
That three-way match they had in Tennessee was really, really good. It was
Yes.
really good. That was one of my
Yes.
favorite matches of that night.
That was a very good match.
yeah, and talking with him, I stood there and talked to him for
Yeah.
what 10-15 minutes, and he was just the coolest, like just
Yeah, he like latched right to Chris and they fucking linked and started talking and hanging out and like it was really cool because like that's gonna help us for the
He's very
podcast in the
passionate
future.
about
Yes.
wrestling.
hmm
Yep.
yes.
So oh man, this has
He's very
been
passionate about wrestling.
yeah, he is. He is. This has been awesome, man. I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your busy schedule and sitting down with us and giving us this time and talking to us and eventually obviously without question, without a doubt, I want you back on the podcast but I want it to be in person. I want you sitting next to us like we did this weekend and talking to us and things like that because that's always more fun. This is cool. I like the Zoom interviews. I like things like this, but to sit down with a wrestler and to sit down next to Santos or these characters who are larger than life and they believe 100% in themselves and what they're doing is so fun to talk to because we forget the cameras there and we just start talking about other things.
Oh, we had so much fun Sunday talking to Bugs Moran, Santos, Benny Blanco,
Yeah.
Rafisi, Vince Steele. I mean,
Yeah.
Johnny Walker was shoving Cheetos in Benny Blanco's ear. It was
Like it was great. Johnny
Bro.
Walker, like, yeah, wait till you see the interviews, man. He wrapped
it's-
him up and like pushed him to the ground. It was so great, dude. That's all. It worked off the angle that I'm working with Blanco right now.
Yeah. So, but it's just, but you again, like we didn't know like the camera was there, and like Bugs Moran just went off on this like tangent, and Will Austin went off on a tangent. We just let him go, like we're backstage promos. Like just here you go, do your thing.
Always fun, man. Always fun. So, look, Bruce Leroy, we're gonna get you back in the podcast. We're gonna get you back inside the Paradox one of these days.
Hell yeah.
There
we
go.
There
Set
it
it
is. There it is. I set it up, man. I got a couple others I
I'm
really
an in-person type of guy.
There we go.
There you go. That's what I like to hear, man. So once all this shit's over and we link up together at a show, we will definitely hear more from you, man. And I can't thank you enough for tonight and for doing all this for us. And like I said, the kid's in the car right now. The kid's on the road to the next show, and that's the coolest part about it. He pulled off to the side of the road to talk to us for 30 minutes, man, and we appreciate that a lot. So we're gonna let you get back on the road. We're gonna get back to our kids. unfortunately, and making sure they're still asleep. I don't. Hey, is Brody still asleep, Chris? Is he?
That's
is he
why.
out?
That's why you see me looking the other way. That's why you. It's not that I'm ignoring you guys. I'm looking the other way.
Bruce, drive safe, man. Thank you so much for coming on. Oh, Chris, wait, I forgot. He
Yeah.
gets 60 seconds.
Oh yes, he gets 60
Bruce,
seconds.
you get to close out the show.
60.
Whoa, don't run away from us now. You get to close out the show.
Oh, really?
So
Yep.
whatever you got to say about whoever
All
in
right.
wrestling, in CCW, I don't care. Say what you want to say. The floor is yours.
Go. My name is Chris Farrell, also known as CCW's Bruce Leroy. And it's just some karate stupid shit they want me to do. But I plan on being the biggest thing to ever come out of Pompano Beach. We're gonna screw this old lifestyle of mine and head up to bigger things in life. Hot chicks, more bitches, more money, and yachts.
I love it.
Nah, I'm
I love
joking.
it.
I'm just gonna live a humble lifestyle after wrestling.
Well, there you go, bro.
Well,
I fucking
dude,
loved it.
that was great. I wish I would have stopped after yachts. Yeah, Bruce Leroy, stay safe. This has been the Wrestling Paradox Podcast. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, follow on Twitter, on YouTube, everywhere you can find us. Hey, Chris, say something stupid.
Something stupid.